Shalom, let's say all praises to Yahweh, Shamel Shah, double honors unto the apostles of GMS, and shalom to you brothers out there. This lesson right here is going to be called Israel Always Flees into Africa or Egypt. Okay?
Satan.
One second. Blood quick, man.
Man's in the bush and that.
Satan is alive.
Satan's a motherfucker, man. Don't worry about Satan, man. He's trying to hinder. He ripped the exact page you're working from as well, innit?
Nah, it's the next page though, but it's another thing, innit? But anyway.
Satan's trying to fuck with man, bro.
That's it. Matthew chapter 2, verse 13, yeah?
Matthew 2, 13.
And when they would and they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Okay, because Herod wasn't the rightful ruler of the kingdom of Judah, because his line doesn't go back to Judah, it goes back to Edom. Okay? Okay? So by him knowing that, he was a tear, by him knowing that, he knew that he's the rightful ruler of the kingdom of Judah, because he comes from the sacred line of the King David, King Solomon, so on and so forth.
Yeah, not
Rehoboam,
sorry.
no?
I was gonna say not fucking. What's his name?
Herod.
Nah, man. What's that Cushite, man? Selassie, the light conquering lion of Judah. He ain't even from the line. He's Elam, bro. You know, he's Elam. He's actually an Elamite.
I hear that, bro.
He ain't even. He ain't Judah, man.
Verse 14, and when he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled what was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. I don't mean no fucking Egyptian. I remember Cyrus Hussein was trying to say that Egypt, you know, someone will be called. Egypt, it ain't shit. It's just a place we fled to due to the fact that we looked like Egyptians, man. And Egyptians look like us. You can pass off for one of them. It tells you in Amos 9:7, have I not made children of Israel like Ethiopians?
Yeah, unto me. Yeah, don't say that.
No?
It's true.
So I'm reading on.
That's true, bro.
Reading on. Alright. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time, which he had diligently acquired of the wise men. Then was fulfilled that was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, In Ramah was their voice heard a lamentation and weeping and great mourning. Rachel weeping for her children will not be comforted because they are not. Okay, verse 19. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Lord appeareth in the dream of Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life. Yeah? And he arose and took the young child. So basically, Joseph, our forefather Joseph, the father of Yahushua, he basically fled into Egypt to what? To avoid death. I know any of you dumb niggas out there would have flee from fucking America if you saw us danger coming, man.
Exactly.
You flee from America.
Exactly.
You probably fly to fucking Ghana and shit, Shaka Eno, and try to live among them, man, because you know they look like you. Let me be around my people. That's what you be thinking. Alright, now go to this now. This is 1 Kings 11 and 40. Alright. Solomon sought therefore to kill Jeroboam. And Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt unto Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. Why would he flee there? Because we look like them, man. If he fled to Elam or the Arabians, even though we were dark then, you could probably be spotted out more easily, man. But Egypt, they got the same kind of texture hair as us, the same kind of look, so he fled among them. Yeah? Right, so...
Yeah.
This is last scripture. The point is that they
But them guys, they don't. Them. Can I say
They-
this? Can I say
oh,
something?
go ahead, bro.
'Cause I was gonna say them dudes like Shaka Amos and that, yeah, they can't really. They're not in the spirit to actually know the difference. Like they can't really read the spirit like that. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To discern. I mean, they could eventually. They know like they can feel it, but you can't really discern straight away and that. You get me?
Yeah.
So then everyone's the same to them if you're dark skinned.
That's
Are you from the landmass of Africa? Then that means you're all the same people then.
But you don't
You
know
got-
how big the land of Africa is.
Exactly.
There's even squabbles like on a level like this. If someone like, I'm from Yoruba tribe don't really like Igbo tribe because we had war with so-called war with them, Biafra. But that was really the white man because basically he didn't want
Back to
the
that,
Igbos to be to segregate themselves off from Nigeria as a whole. Why? Because there was I believe, I can't remember totally, but I believe there's a lot of oil in the region where the Igbos dwelt, where they were trying to build an independent state, and I'd lose a grip of their power over that oil. So that's really the cause of the beef. But then there's other things like people like the Ghanaians, they don't like Ewe people, for example, because the Ewe people are into witchcraft, man. And that's a righteous thing, to not like them. But there's beefs among the people. It ain't like you go over to Africa and it's all one in peace. People know that they ain't the same spirit. The West Coast people, I don't really know I ain't really met a West Coast person that really fucks with people from Somalia or
No.
people
Batteries and
over
batteries and all.
sub-Saharan Africa. They don't fuck with Moroccans like that.
No.
Them Arabs and people, they don't fuck with them like that. Unless they're in the region where the Hausa are at, the Mali, Nigeria, them type of places because they're Muslims. So they have a means of, a channel of communication through religion. But we don't fuck with them more than that. Yeah?
There was a guy, he used to live in the YMCA. He was from East Africa, yeah? But he grew up in Nigeria. And he spoke remember I was telling you,
Yoruba, yeah.
he spoke the Yoruba language and everything. And he actually was like around
Yeah.
real Yoruba man them like that. He was there. So like, when he's here and he says when he sees Nigerians, he will just start talking in Yoruba to them. Like
Yeah.
he can know that he knows to speak the language and they just get along and that. Which he could be a Jake, like
Yeah.
he could actually be a Jake, like you don't know.
Because you even got one Jake that was in that place as well. He's so-called Yoruba, but his dad was Greek. Moved over to fucking Now I thought this guy was straight nice because he's got an accent. You know, he's got the accent.
But
then he's fucking. His
Dad's a white dude
Dad's a
from
white
Greece.
dude from Greece.
which he could be an Israelite.
That's right. I think he is.
More than
The
likely.
way he goes on, he's
Like-
a Jake. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because he's a nigga that likes to get money,
Exactly.
floss for a second, fuck all the pussy in the world, and be broke and shit, and then.
But if you didn't ask him, you wouldn't know that his dad's a
I
white
wouldn't
man.
know that. That's
Or if he
right,
didn't
bro.
open up and converse with you, you wouldn't know
right,
that.
bro.
You just say this guy's just a Jake, like.
That's right. Our people always fled into that land. It weren't nothing special about Egypt. We just fled there because it was due to circumstance. It was a wise thing to do. You have a wise decision, you make it, and it ain't nothing special about Egypt. Our people are the greatest people on the earth. What does it tell you in Psalms 82 and 6? It tells you, help me out, bro.
Psalms
Um,
82 and 6.
Ye
Ye
are
are the
gods.
gods,
I've said
but ye
ye
shall
are
die
gods,
like men.
but ye shall die like men. We're great people, but we're dying like we ain't that great. You look, we ain't got the most high, man. We're dying like men.
Exactly.
So do you think we're gonna stand there and be like on some like let them Romans come in and we're gonna show them a little thing or two? No.
Yeah. You
And
can
I'm
still
gonna
get
prove
taken
why,
down.
because
man.
the scripture right here proves the reason why we
Yep.
fled. It's just the wise thing to do. We're
Yep.
spiritual people, we're not carnal. Okay? Mark 13 and 14.
Really, it's true.
But when ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Meaning, the heathen being in the temple that is sacred, that basically desecrating our land, starting with the temple, because that was a holy segment of our land. That's where the Most High dwelt. Okay? Yeah? When you see the heathen up in a place, then let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains. Run to the mountains. Yeah? Mountains like Mount Sinai. There's a mountainous region before you get into Egypt, man. obviously our people were dispersed every different way. Went down into Arabia, went down into the land of Elam, went northwards up into
Asia,
the land of
Europe,
what you
went to
know
Europe.
today as Turkey,
Yeah.
Armenia. We're different places, man. Anywhere and anywhere we could get away to. But the bulk of our people went
to the
into the
west.
landmass of Africa. Why? Because it's an easy place for us to hide. Yeah, easy. And then we funneled through that landmass and went into different. We basically follow the stream. When you check it out, we follow the stream. I believe it's a Niger River, because we basically follow that river. Anyone that's gonna travel anywhere, you're gonna need water. And life, all forms of life flock towards water. Now there's an invisible lake in South Africa. Only appears once, I think it's in the spring of every year, and then it builds up. It's a desert, but then when that water flows in, all the animals from everywhere yearly
Flock
there,
to it, innit?
because there's fucking the flies just appeared, man.
Yeah.
So basically, they flow to that land, to that
Shit.
lake. Then you have all forms of animals. Same thing. Our people are wise. They knew how to deal with the landmass. They'll be like, let's follow the water. All the animals are gonna flock here. We can slay them, eat in abundance. There'll be grain growing nearby. Blah blah blah. And then we ended up on the west coast of Africa. Yeah, we didn't hang about in Egypt. And you niggas claiming that shit.
Not saying
Egypt,
that there ain't Jakes there in Egypt.
Yeah, of course. Because I know an Egyptian brother from these ends around here.
Right,
And he's a Jake.
right.
I know a bitch, Egyptian. I don't know her. But I got a nigga that used to fuck with her. She's a model bitch. Straight nigga woman. Mad ass, all that shit.
Yeah. She's an Egyptian girl.
She's an Egyptian girl.
Yeah. But you
I've
see
met
what
a
I'm saying?
couple Egyptian. She was like a Moroccan bitch. That's that same
Jake,
kind
bro.
of.
Jake, bro.
Yeah. You know, like the Moroccan bitches,
But
the
the-
mad body and that.
Yeah.
go on,
But the
bro.
point we were saying, we're dissing the Shaka Amos about, we know that our people was in the West Coast, innit? That's what we're really getting
Yeah,
onto him
man.
about. Because, like, we do, obviously, we did kind of like segue about the Jakes being Egyptians, and, that's the spirit, though, because there's Jakes
That's it,
everywhere.
there's a lot, that's
There's
it.
Jakes everywhere. But the point is, the majority of Jake was in the West Coast, man.
Yeah,
And then even when you check out Jakes from the West Coast here, who flocks to the churches here, bro?
that's it.
Man from the West Coast, from the islands, they flock to the churches, bro. Every Sunday,
That's it, man.
religiously. Innit?
That's
They have
it, bro.
they have an affection for the
To
Most
the
High.
Most
Like.
High. They know the Bible is a sacred book. But what's happened to you, Shaka Anal? Your anal has been ploughed into, man.
He's bugged
You
out.
believe that you reading of many books is giving you some form of wisdom for you to doubt this book. But you